There's an undeniable magic to the idea of seeing the entire world. For many of us, that dream often feels out of reach, especially when looking at the price tags of traditional airfares. We dream of shoestring adventures, but can they truly deliver? That's where this experiment comes in. My core objective was audacious, to circumnavigate the globe, not with fancy business class tickets or even standard economy, but by relying solely on budget airlines. The method was simple, yet terrifyingly complex. String together flights from the cheapest carriers available. This meant embracing the quirks and notorious reputations of airlines known for their rock-bottom fares. It was a challenge I couldn't resist. Of course, I anticipated difficulties. Budget travel often comes with potential pitfalls, hidden costs, and a healthy dose of inconvenience. I knew this wouldn't be a luxury cruise, but a gritty, real-world test. My primary goal was to assess the true cost-effectiveness of these ultra-low fares. Are they genuinely a gateway to affordable global travel, or just a clever marketing trick? I wanted to find out. The underlying question driving this entire journey was simple. Can budget fares truly deliver an adventure? Can you experience the thrill of global exploration without breaking the bank? Or does the frugality strip away the joy? My journey began, as most modern adventures do, hunched over a laptop. Initial research tools were my best friends, Skyscanner and Google Flights. These platforms became my digital compass, pointing towards the cheapest routes. Identifying potential routes was a puzzle, connecting dots across continents with airlines I'd only heard whispers about. It required flexibility and a willingness to embrace unconventional layovers. The goal was always the lowest price, no matter the path. For this grand experiment, I embraced the titans of budget travel. Ryanair in Europe, Spirit in the Americas, and AirAsia across Asia became my chosen chariots. Each promised incredible savings, at least on the surface. But here's where the plot thickens. The notorious a la carte pricing model of budget airlines. It's a system designed to lure you in with a ridiculously low headline fare, then nickel and dime you for every conceivable extra. Specific extra charges quickly piled up. Checked baggage fees were a given, often costing more than the flight itself. Seat selection charges, even for a basic window seat, added another layer of expense. Then there were the miscellaneous add-ons, priority boarding, printing your boarding pass at the airport, even a small fee for using a credit card. The discrepancy between the headline fare and the final price became glaringly obvious. What started as a seemingly unbeatable deal rapidly ballooned. That $10 flight to a new country suddenly became a $70 flight, just for the privilege of bringing a small backpack and sitting next to a window. The initial low fare was a mirage. The booking process taught me a harsh lesson, but the packing challenge was where the real sacrifice began. This wasn't just about fitting clothes, it was about a complete mindset shift. Strict size restrictions imposed by budget airlines meant my entire life for weeks had to fit into a bag no larger than a small backpack. This wasn't a suggestion, it was a non-negotiable rule. The paramount importance of minimalist packing became my mantra. Every single item had to justify its existence, its weight, and its space. There was no room for just-in-case items. Careful consideration of every item was crucial. Multi-purpose clothing, travel-sized toiletries, and digital alternatives to physical books became my essentials. If it didn't serve multiple functions, it stayed home. Ruthless elimination of bulky items was a daily exercise in self-discipline. Forget extra shoes, thick sweaters, or even a full-sized towel. Every ounce mattered, every cubic inch was precious. Sacrifices were made for these cost savings. Comfort was often compromised, as I wore the same few outfits repeatedly. Convenience was a luxury I simply couldn't afford to pack. This is the inherent trade-off in budget travel. You save money, yes, but you sacrifice space, flexibility, and often a degree of personal comfort. It's a constant negotiation between your wallet and your well-being. Once airborne, the experience itself was, predictably, a mixed bag. Flight punctuality was generally reliable, which was a pleasant surprise. Most flights departed and arrived on schedule, a crucial factor when connecting budget legs. However, the overall experience was often less than luxurious. Let's just say you won't be mistaking these cabins for a premium airline lounge. It's about getting from A to B, nothing more. Common in-flight conditions included cramped seating, where personal space was a distant memory. Limited legroom meant even average-height individuals felt like giants squeezed into a shoebox. Comfort was not a priority. There was also the constant pressure to purchase onboard snacks and drinks. Everything from a bottle of water to a tiny bag of chips came with a hefty price tag. Bringing your own provisions became a survival strategy. Another significant factor was airport locations. Budget airlines often operate out of secondary airports, which are frequently further from city centers. This meant longer commutes and less convenient access. These remote airports added additional time and expense for ground transportation. What you saved on the flight, you often spent on buses, trains, or taxis just to reach your destination. It's a hidden cost many overlook. After countless flights, meticulous tracking, and a few unexpected detours, it was time for the revelation of the true cost of this adventure. The numbers told a fascinating, if slightly sobering, story. Initial fares were indeed significantly lower than what standard Alliance Airlines would charge for similar routes. On paper, it looked like a landslide victory for the budget approach. However, the cumulative effect of all those add-ons significantly increased the overall cost. Baggage fees, seat selection charges, and those miscellaneous extras added up to a substantial sum. They chipped away at the perceived savings. Inconvenience factors also added to the overall cost, though not in monetary terms. The time spent navigating complex booking processes, constantly checking restrictions, and dealing with potential unexpected delays took a toll. Time is money after all. When compared to a hypothetical standard Alliance ticket, the budget approach was not a landslide victory. The savings were there, but they weren't as dramatic as the initial headline fare suggested. Savings were present, but they came with significant trade-offs. Comfort was sacrificed, convenience was often non-existent, and the potential for hidden costs loomed over every booking. It was a constant balancing act. Ultimately, the entire experience felt like a calculated gamble. You gamble on the low fare, hoping the add-ons don't completely negate the savings, and you gamble on your own patience and adaptability. So what did this grand experiment teach me? First and foremost, the importance of meticulous planning cannot be overstated. Every flight, every connection, every baggage allowance needs to be scrutinized. You also need to embrace the limitations of budget travel. It's not about luxury, it's about efficiency and getting there. Adjust your expectations, and you'll find more enjoyment in the journey. This experiment affirmed that the world is indeed accessible on a budget. You don't need a trust fund to see incredible places, but you do need a different approach. The dream of global travel is within reach. However, it absolutely requires a strategic approach. You can't just blindly book the cheapest flight. You need to factor in all the potential hidden costs and inconveniences. Be smart, not just cheap. And finally, you need a healthy dose of patience. Things will go wrong. Flights will be delayed. You'll be uncomfortable. But with patience and a good attitude, even the most challenging budget travel moments become part of the adventure.